Live. Hopefully this is working. That seemed to be. See what's going on. Go back and see if this is working. Okay. Looking like huh? Looks like it's working. Trying to check and make sure that this is up and going. Yep, right on, right on. Okay, so all right. Well, hopefully one or two of you might be joining me in. Trying to get this in. We're going to pick up where we left off in Module 9. We were talking about cables and wires, and now we're going to talk a little bit about fish tape and how that works. Let's see if I can help get this light a little bit better. No, that one's unplugged. Okay, never mind. You'll just have to put up with the fact that I got a window behind me. So, fish tape. Fish tape can be made flexible steel or nylon, available in coils 25 to 200 feet. I think we covered these in tools when we were talking about the tools and about what was going on there. And then there's power conduit fishing systems. It's just a powered fish tape. Uh, then wire to a string. You can a pull rope, pull wire, pull string, and wire grips. It was like a Chinese finger trap that you'd put the end of your cable in, the end of your wire, pull through. Uh, so there's just different ways of getting that wire in there. As we found out when we were doing conduit bending, I had you guys. I forget who it was now. Take a look at trying to push a wire through after it had the 360-degree bend, and it wasn't able to be just easily pushed through. So, um, yeah, there's different methods and different things that we have to take into consideration. So, when we're talking about feeding conductors into conduit, we have to make sure that it's not snagging on an edge. It's not being uh, being ripped up, torn up, because we can't have any damage to the jacket. So when you're pulling, if you don't have a good smooth place to pull wire into, you won't have a good way of getting that wire uh, in, and you can damage that jacket. So it'll take a couple of people, one at one end pulling, one at one end feeding, uh, and making sure that you don't uh, booger up that jacket and have an issue that way. You need to know, as we're talking about that, you need to know it is important to keep the conductors straight and parallel and free of kinks, bends, and crossovers. That just helps pull that wire through. It helps to get that wire in and able to be pulled through the uh, through the the pipe easier if you can keep it straight. So um, I'm going to attempt to uh, put up on Schoology and have everybody be able to get in there so that you can um, get in the review questions for the chapter. I know I went a little longer last time, but we needed to be able to get in. That was a good stopping point. I didn't want to keep going. I thought there was more to talk about. We're going to talk about how to get into Schoology, and from what I have gathered from the folks who are telling me, again, you guys know I don't know about Schoology. I wasn't familiar with it, and I um, hadn't used it before, hadn't had to learn about it. And from what I gather, it seems to be that there's some of you who weren't able to use it either, whether or not it was you weren't familiar with it from your homeschool or you weren't familiar with it with using it for your Mac class. Uh, but I think it will be very beneficial to be able to use. So if you are one of the first years you plan on coming back to the class next year, we will be um, working on using Schoology, especially when we get into those times where we should be at school, but we've got 2 hour delays. We've got uh, we've got school closes, but Muncie Central doesn't. We'll have to work things out, but uh, it would be really nice to be able to push that day's assignment up on the Schoology, to be able to do something like this, linked to Schoology and say, hey, here you go. Here's today's work. Here's what we covered, and we wouldn't be falling behind, and we could get through everything. And hopefully, we can have an afternoon class coming up next year, and then that would be a way to keep both classes on the same schedule. It would take a little bit of, hey, you got to catch up on this on your own, but that's part of uh, where you're getting close to being as juniors and seniors. You'd be expected to continue if you were working somewhere. It doesn't matter whether it snowed too much, whether what was going on. You'd be expected to be able to be there, and so doing the Schoology would be a way to make that up. So want to put that out there and say, hey, this is something I want to look into doing in the future. So with that said, um, I believe the way that everybody's telling me that you should be able to get into Schoology is to be able to um, go through the uh, Schoology website itself. Uh, so instead of trying to go through the portal on Muncie Central's website or Muncie City School site, you would be going through Schoology itself and then checking the boxes going through that direction, and it allows you to get in. If you individually your uh, need your password or needs your username, with your username, you should be able to get in. Every Mac student was given uh, an email that was your first name dot last name at munciecityschools.net. So that should be how you're getting into the system, and then you should be able to put in your password at that point. If you need your password, get a get a hold of me via text message, call, my email as well. You guys know my school email, uh, jpat.neal at Muncie City Schools or muncieschools.org. Yeah, it's muncieschools.org. So that would be the same for your email. Would be your first name dot last name at muncieschools.net. That'll be the difference there for you. So I'm gonna be putting something up on Schoology here in a little while, so everybody has a chance to take a look at it as we uh, go into the weekend, work on it. If you need some help, I've gotten a little bit of direction as far as how to work that. I also had somebody asked me today, how are we going to get in and get our tools if school's closed for the rest of the year and we're doing e-learning? I've got some tools at the school. When are we going to be able to do that? I posed that question to Mr. Beasley, and he said right now they're saying all the schools have to be closed, but we will make arrangements when we can to get in there. So as soon as I know, I will send out a text message, put something up on here, put something on the Schoology. I'll make sure that everybody finds out, everybody knows that we're going to be able to get in at this time. You can come in, you can get your things, and do what you need to do. Mr. Beasley's also aware that I've got um, Mr. Beasley's also aware that I've got two uh, students that need to take one more exam they weren't there for, that uh, then they'll be able to have uh, their certificate that they've earned uh, through the NCCR certifications. So we're working hard on getting these things done. Um, the school system is saying, "Hey, we're still going to push forward. We want to get this done. You still need to have some work that you're working on. You need to continue to uh, need to continue working towards having these grades, having these certifications." I haven't heard back. I need to get a hold of Mr. Penrod again about how the remote testing can be done. Uh, he was able to do a webinar about remote testing for NCCR. I wasn't able to do that, so if I can find out some more, I will find out some details and whatever needs to be done to get everybody what they need. So, other than that, like I said, check Schoology. I told you how to log in, go through the Schoology website. You should have the options of how to then get to Muncie Schools and Muncie Area Career Center to be able to get to our class. And it on my side of Schoology, it separates first years and second years. Uh, I'm putting the same thing up on both, but you're not going to be able to find yours. You should have yours under if you were first year or second year. So if you're having trouble, let me know. You've got my contact information. Like I said, you can text, you can call, you can um, you can email me, you can send a carrier pigeon. I don't care how, but if you're having trouble, reach out, let me know. I'll get the answers and get back with you as soon as I can. So until I see you, I'm going to try to do um, another live stream on Tuesday next week. I'm wanting to have that ready to go at 10:30. That seemed to work out better. Don't have anybody on here right now. My plan is to try to do Tuesdays and Thursdays with the live stream going through the chapters, and then on our Schoology accounts, we'll be doing the paperwork side of it, doing the work and things. So if you need anything that way, uh, like I said, let me know. We'll get it worked out. So until next time, stay safe, stay in your homes, and do what you're supposed to do. Help your moms out, do dishes and stuff.